Hey guys, Ian here with Redline. Wanted to show you one of our newest, biggest shop presses. This is the RE75T-A, the A designation being that it is an air over hydraulic shop press. I'm going to show you some of the really cool features of it here. First, in the pump here, we'll talk about it. Obviously, you've got a knob here for turning left and right, for releasing your pressure and making your cylinder come back up. We got a manual operation pump right here. And that's a nice feature to have, because when I'm doing pressing, a lot of times I like to use the the air power or the electric feature to do most of it. And then when I get down to the really nitty gritty where I'm trying to increase my feel of things, that's when I like to use the manual operation. So let's talk about a few of the features here. If you look up here, you'll notice we've got a oil-filled gauge. Shows you how many tons of pressing force that you've got. That's very, very important for a couple of reasons. One of the neatest things about this press is that the pressing head on it here is actually mounted on a rail system inside and is mounted on bearings in there, and it rolls so well that even because our floor in here is a little bit uneven, the shop press is just ever so slightly leaning to the right. Watch this, the thing will actually just roll over here to the right because our floor is unlevel, and it really does roll that easy, which is really cool. One of the next things I want to talk about is the pin kit on this unit you can change out, which is really awesome. If I come around the back side of the press, you've got a little jam nut over here, if you will. It allows you to pull this out. There we go. Okay, so that is the standard pressing die that it comes with. Nothing special at all. If you look over here onto the side of the shop press, we've got our optional pin press kit that you can get for this unit. Comes with an adapter. I'll show you how that works. Comes with 8 different sizes. No, excuse me. 8 different sizes of pin pressing pins here. You'll notice these things are all spring-loaded with a little ball in there. I'll take the one here that's already got all this grease on it. You just push it in place, snap it in, and that's all there is to it. Pull it back out. It's just like taking a socket off of a socket wrench. And one of the neat things about this is you get this little gauge right here. And so if say for a moment that you're going to press with this pin, obviously you're not going to put 75 tons of force on that pin and think that you're not going to destroy it. So if you want to know how many tons you can put on it, you just grab your little gauge here from 2 tons to 20 tons, slide it in there, and that'll tell you the most you can put on that pin is a 2-ton pressing force. That's really important. You got a gauge on this thing, and that'll allow you to make sure that you don't overdo it. So all you do is just slide this thing into place and lock down the pin on the back side. You can't really see here, and that's all there is to it to change these out. So now that I'm done with that and showing you how it works, I'll put that back down here. I'll put the standard head back in it. I'll lock it back down. Allen wrenches are included. I want to talk for a second here about the pressing plates here. These things are pretty heavy duty, to say the least. Gosh, must be made of inch and a half thick steel. Have a look at the weld down through here. Very, very serious MIG weld. And one of the safety features that's important about these press plates are you have these pins that stick down in here that keep that plate from taking off on you. So if you wanted to flip it over and use this side, if you didn't put those pins in the down position, you run off and put too much force on it, that thing could slide right out of there and shoot off like a bullet. So you put those pins down, and now it's locked in. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'll flip those back over. Okay, so now let's talk about the winch on this unit, which is really cool. Over here on the side, you've got a winch that allows you to raise the carriage up and down. On a big press, that's incredibly important because there's no telling what this carriage weighs. It's enough that I'm not interested in finding out, that's for sure. So I'm going to pull out my top pins here. I've already pulled the pins on the back side, so let me just set those here for a moment. Take a little pressure off of it there. There we go. Had to get the pressure just right. So We'll go ahead and crank this on up. And you'll notice I'll raise it up further than I want it to go. These press pins here, I want you to notice, have a bevel on one side. That's the side that you use to go in the hole right here. Makes it to where it comes out the other side nice and easy. So I'll go ahead and put this one in here. I'll take my clip pins, I'll clip them on the back side of that pin. And now, when I release the carriage, which by the way, this winch won't just go in reverse all of a sudden. It requires you to force it into reverse. So I'll lower it back down onto those pins, which will inherently line up the top pins. I'll now put those pins in place. Okay, I'll do the other side. Okay, we push these little pins back down. Let's see here, one of the other features I wanted to mention about this unit is the guard. This is incredibly important. You know, this guard, you've got a couple little latches right here on the side. You release those latches and then you just raise the guard up to wherever you need it, lock them back in place, and then drop it down. And you know, keeps anything from shooting out of here incredibly fast. Really important because you're not trying to put 150,000 pounds worth of pressing force on something, have it shoot out of there and knock your brains clean across the shop. So, we'll do a little demonstration here. Drop my guard back down out of the way for a second. So I'm going to take my press plates here. I'm going to grab one of these other plates that I've got. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to set this in the middle. And I'm going to bring this press head on over. We're going to crush a can. Come on around here and we'll have a close look at this. I do want to show you I have a shielded foot switch down at the base right here, so you're not going to step on that thing by accident. So I'll make sure my valve is closed here. Okay, so I aired up my air compressor that was out of air. I went ahead and ran my cylinder down to where it's nice and close to the can. I'll raise up my guard here, and let's see how flat we can make that Coke can. And once it finally gets that can flattened out, then we'll notice that our gauge will start to read some pressure. And finally, there it's coming up nice and slow on pressure. It's not anything that's going to jump up and surprise you in terms of your tonnage. We're just now making it up to about 15 tons and 20 tons. And we'll go ahead and go a little bit more. We're not going to take it all the way to 75 tons. It's really a little overkill on trying to crush a Coke can. Take it up a little more, 35 tons. And we're up to about 45 tons. Let's go ahead and call it quits there. I'll lower my rack. You know what, let me take the pressure off before I lower my rack. Let's be smart about this. Okay. And there is Coke can, just as thin as you could possibly ask for. We put about 90,000 pounds worth of pressure on it. You can see this unit on our website, redlinestands.com. You can call us at 901-351-4764 to order and ask questions. This is the RE75T-A shop press. Thanks for watching.